Hey everybody, what's going on today? Welcome back to Heresy Painting and Gaming, where today we're going to be actually building a Solar Auxilia Legate Marshal. So I've already cut out the pieces that I'm going to use minus the shoulder pads, but I'm basically using the command sprue for the lined command section that came on the Solar Auxilia battle group, and you can also get it in the command line section box, and it comes with all these parts that you can basically dress up your troops with. Games Workshop did confirm that in this sprue you actually get an extra miniature, so that's what I have cut out right here, minus the plasma pistol, which came in the regular guy sprue, because that's one of the options I'm going to use. But as long as you have an extra 25mm base, and if you've collected Warhammer long enough, then you have bases, you can basically have a free miniature. But basically what I'm doing is I'm building basically the leader to my Imperial Auxilia, or Solar Auxilia. And I kind of decided to go with Plasma Pistol Thunderhammer, because I want him to be able to at least stand up to a Space Marine. He's gonna die. He's just a regular human guy. They're there to die. They're not gonna live around a combat or anything like that. They're gonna die. But it's still gonna be a fun model. I'm gonna do a build video and then a paint video where I go through and I paint him. And I may not paint him exactly like the Inuit Phalangites, which is the Imperial Fist, I guess kind of like cohort. Just because there's some colors on there that I don't like. I want them to be a little bit more muted, more militaristic. But I also don't want to paint them bright yellow, because yellow is kind of a pain to paint. But that being said, I'm still going to try to stick to a color scheme, which I typically don't do. But I kind of got yelled at when I painted some 30k Marines in my colors, and that wasn't really well received, so I'm going to stick close to lore as possible. But that being said, so I got the body here. You get a body, you get your two legs, your arms, your chest, the head, and the plume. And that all comes in the command sprue. The plasma pistol came in the infantry sprue. But within the command sprue, you get all these you can dress up your line command squad with, which I'll probably do a build video later on, or at least a paint video. And I forgot to take out the tailcoat, because he needs a tailcoat for his uniform. It's a good thing I like to look at these sprues to kind of see what I'm missing. But we're gonna get this cleaned up and put it together, so that's kind of my thought process. And as you can see here, a lot of options for this guy, because he's the marshal. He gets access to basically everything. But I kind of had an idea in my head. Wanted him to stand toe-to-toe with a regular Space Marine. I thought about giving him the Power Fist, because they are going to be fighting with the Imperial Fist Legion, or at least alongside them. But I'm going to give that to the sergeants instead. The Power Fist comes in the sprue for the regular guys, and it actually is a cool looking Power Fist. But I just like to, I'm going to clean this out, just real carefully. And I'm not an expert modeler, so y'all see me do something wrong and let me know. But I'm probably still going to do this my way anyway, because it's what's worked for me. And my hands are kind of weird, so just try to make sure I clean up all the excess there, little nub marks. Get them as smooth as possible, and you can glue them. It's easy to line up, and they go together really well. That's another thing too, is I've been so impressed with the way that these kits go together for Heresy. It's almost like they took a little bit of extra time engineering that, because it seems like 40K doesn't have the amount of engineering as these do. And I build a lot of 40K as well. To me, these are the gold standard. And especially the tanks. The tanks, they go together super well. And I commit an atrocity by painting on the sprue a lot of the time. Particularly with infantry models, because I just like to put them together. Like, basically what I'll do is I'll do the body, put it all together, and then I paint like the weapons on this sprue. This is going to be really tricky because it's so skinny. That's the thing you gotta watch out too with these Solar Auxilia, is they're very thin. So be mindful of that when you're building these guys. Alright, so they're all cleaned up. I'm gonna use my handy dandy super glue. I know they say to use Citadel glue, but this glue has worked for me. Let's get this at Walmart. Like, it's like 4 containers for like $2 or something like that. And seeing as these models are pretty expensive because it's Games Workshop, I'm gonna try to save as much as you can, right? So I gotta work out which one's the right leg and which one's the left leg. That's this one here. It's got the knee pad. I always like building too. It's kind of a zen for me. And I love that they kind of have like little guides. And what I mean by guides is they use some of the, like for example, the knee pad on this guy. You know where it's going to go, which direction it's supposed to go. Which does mean that they're monopose. But at the same time, it's just easier, especially for an army like this that has so many components. There's so many like line troops and so many minis. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna stay there. Straighten that out a little bit. And I don't know, this guy's just going together pretty well. Kind of looking forward to seeing what he looks like on the table. Which is kind of what we're in the process of doing here. Seeing what they look like. So that's that. Then I got the plume and the head. I'm gonna put those together first. Or even this has guides, so you can just a dab of glue will do you. And I don't know about you all, I actually prefer the, I guess would be like the vertical head crest, like this guy, like kind of like a mohawk. I just like it better over the horizontal Roman style one. Words are hard. There's that. And I mean, that's going to make the painting the insides of that a little bit difficult, but you're not going to see it, so it'll be okay. Then we'll just stick this guy on the base. And get ready for put the weapons on him. And I always like to finish the model by putting the head on last. Because it makes it kind of feel like you're giving them a helmet. Like, typically when you're putting on like equipment, you put the helmet on last. That's kind of what I like to do. But this is going to take a little bit to dry, so we're going to pause for one moment. Okay, now that we've let this dry a little bit, we can continue by putting on the weapons and all this stuff. And this is gonna look so good. These models are amazing. And this is coming from a Space Marine player. These just look really good. It doesn't want to stick. There we go. Jace is kind of got a royal look about him, like almost regal, right? And that's kind of like the feeling I get with these guys, is they're kind of like a nobility, like the officers are. At least that's kind of like my headcanon anyway. They're like, oh, he's so proper. But I kind of want to make him a little bit gangster. Yeah, that's all they're pretty good. And that's the thing about this crazy glue sometimes. It's just most of the time it just like dries so quickly, so you can't really move it. But that's okay. And there's the head. If it decides it wants to stick. Yeah, it's gonna hurry up and wait almost. So there's that. And basically I'm gonna wait for that to dry. And then we'll put on the shoulder pads, because the shoulder pads are really, really teeny tiny. And yeah, so that's kind of I'm going with. I'm gonna have to put a little more glue there. I just now to add here. It'll stick to my fingers though. Yeah, so there he is in his glory. That's kind of what he looks like. It's all put together. Not a bad build. And I love how it goes together. Like, it went together actually really well. But let's do the shoulder pads on him. So he gets the fancy one. So he gets is it shoulder pad 7 and 9? So that was about to fall out, so he's gonna get that one. Where is 7? There's 7 right So we'll get those sprues cleaned up. Let me plug that in. And that's the shoulder pads. These shoulder pads are really tiny. And I believe all of the Solar Auxilia troops have these. So, you gotta be super duper careful not to lose these. Flip that over so we see which is which. Okay, so fancy one goes on the hammer arm. Just gotta protect the shoulders. And actually that makes all the difference in the world there. Oh, the head just popped off. You know, I'll do that later. So this is what happens when you model enough. You gotta go back and do things over again. Sometimes you gotta do things twice. It can be kind of a pain. Get this in there. There we go. And that is the build. So there he is. It is Solar Auxilia Splendor. Just got shoulder pads and just a really good build. I like this. He's gonna be leading my troops, and you know, I thank you all for sticking with me on this one, on the Solar Auxilia journey, at least the start of it. And if you guys like these, then I'll do some more of these. We can do like a building all the infantry, and the infantry is going to be kind of tedious because they're tiny, but it's going to be kind of fun. The tanks, I'm probably going to do those off screen just because there's a lot of airbrushing going on with them, but I might do the walkers on screen also. But this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you all for sticking with me, and I will see you all on the next one. May the Emperor protect.